All right, good day, everyone. Nobody says good day.
Top of the morning.
Ahoy, maybe. Okay, hi. Welcome to Multifaceted with Tiffany Walker. Today, I have an incredible guest, Courtney, also goes by Coco Bree. That is her cosplay name. You can find her on TikTok, amazing TikTok videos. I'm excited to have her on here today, but I have to tell you a story about how we met. So we have an incredible story. We both have the same grandmother. We found out we were cousins, but we just found out 4 years ago, right? It was
4 years ago, 2018.
Okay, so my mom is adopted, and she, was trying to find her birth mom for the last maybe 10 to 15 years. She got a private investigator, found her, and she found out that her birth mom was living like 10 minutes away from her. And so she's like, should I go meet her? And I'm like, absolutely, YOLO. And so she was nervous though, because you never know how people are going to respond. Was she going to accept her, reject her? What are you doing here? But she took the courage, knocked on the door. They met each other. They look exactly alike.
And sound alike.
Alike. They do sound alike. That tripped me out when I saw them, because I was like, you look like my mom, but like in 15, 20 years. Like, it really tripped me out.
Yeah. It tripped me out too. When I saw her, I was like, spitting image.
Was it weird when you first saw my mom?
Not necessarily weird. Well, because, your mom, she's my great aunt, and she actually sent my mom a picture of your mom when she showed up. It was like...
So, my mom would knock on the door. Nobody would answer, and my birth grandma had a camera, and she was like, who's this lady that keeps knocking on my door, and why does she look just like me?
So my mom showed me the picture, and that tripped me out. I was like, oh, that's her child.
Right? Yeah. There was like no denying.
No
So,
denying.
I mean, they still did the whole DNA test and all of that, but it turns out, they were mother and daughter. And so I believe she had some kind of family event first, so we could all... And do you remember what the event was? Because I know we met at the funeral, but we met before that.
We did meet before that. I can't remember what the event was. What? Did we go to like Mendocino Farms or no?
No. That would be fun though.
That sounds delicious.
So basically, our birth grandmother, before she passed, she had some kind of event so that, the cousins can all meet each other, because I met the twins first. And then she had some other event, which I can't remember what it was, but then after she passed, at her funeral, I feel like is where we started talking.
Yes. And we clicked instantly. It was like, oh.
You told me you were an actress, or you told me you were in the entertainment industry, and I was like, what? Me too.
Yeah.
And so that's how we met. But not only is she in the entertainment industry, this girl is a TikTok star, TikTok famous, millions and millions of views. She does cosplay, which we're going to get into, but I did want to talk about, you're not from LA though.
No. I'm not from LA. I'm from Houston, H-Town all day, like Beyonce. It's so funny because one time I was in an Uber and we were just, having a casual conversation, and I was telling him that I was from Houston, and he was like, oh, so you're like Beyonce. And I was like, sir, you just earned the biggest tip. So,
5+ stars.
All right, 5+ stars. I'm going to call Uber and be like, yeah. Okay, anyway, so... I came out here because my degree is actually in film, and initially I came out here to edit trailers because, I don't know, have y'all seen what
like
movie
trailers
is that?
For movies?
For movies, yes. And I like the concept of like being able to bring people into a theater. I don't know. The marketing of it is really cool to me. So that's what I wanted to do.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because you can really manipulate like the way things come out in the editing process.
Listen, have you ever seen the movie The Shining?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so it's Jack Nicholson. It's a scary movie called The Shining, Stephen King. But somebody edited it to make it look like it was this like rom-com, and they changed the whole music, they changed the scenes, and she's like, Jack, and I was like, who did this? And they did the same thing for Mary Poppins. Have you seen that one, The Scary Mary?
I've seen that one, yes.
Man.
And I've seen one for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. They changed it to make it a horror film.
Those are amazing.
Those are great.
Okay,
yes.
so you wanted to do that.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle. So I really enjoy editing. But when I moved out here, people weren't hiring because I didn't have any like experience. So I got like a temp job. I worked at Farmers. I've worked so many jobs just to make ends. Yeah, because you have to hustle. So my ex roommate used to be a Disney princess at like Disney World, Disneyland, and so she was telling me that she heard from her friends that there's a way that you can just make money by like sitting in the audience at shows. And so I was like, okay, that would be a good like side hustle. I can make a little cash. So from doing that, I started talking to people, and they were telling me that you could also be like an extra, do background acting. And I was like, okay.
Extra work, fun times, free food, craft services.
Yes.
Love it. Yeah, I got so many granola bars doing that.
Me too. Oh my gosh, the granola bars and popcorn. So good. And at this time I wasn't in the union, so I was just like learning about the industry because that was my way of getting onto a set because I had never been on like a real set before. And so I did that, and then in that process I actually ended up getting upgraded to do like a couple of commercials for that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, I came out here for editing, but now I've fallen back in love with being in front of the camera because I was a theater kid in high school, and I love acting. I love performance. Performance is my passion, but I still love the editing process. So I was like, I don't know.
So you have both. You kind of are like, I love the acting part of it, but I've done editing, and you have a passion for telling a story through a trailer and telling a story through performing.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. That was beautifully played. Yes. That's exactly what it is. And so I was like, maybe I should start taking the acting thing more seriously. And from doing background over the years, I ended up joining the union, and then I started doing stand-in work. It's like little steps. And
well, let's talk about who you do stand-in for.
Well, currently I stand in for Gabrielle Union.
That's awesome.
She's amazing. She's great, and she just takes me with her. So basically, what a stand-in does is the actor will come in and do their performance during the rehearsal. I watch the performance, and then she goes back to her trailer and gets prepared for the scene. And I stand and do the scene, act out the scene like she did it while they light the shot. So the gaffer, the DP, I work closely with those departments, the grips, and they light the shots. I do the performance, and then she comes back, and I tell her if they've changed anything or whatever. And so, yeah, it's been so much fun. I've learned a lot. It's interesting being on this side of the camera because I'm still on the crew side. And so you get to see all the moving parts. I'm working with every department.
Inner workings of how you put a project together.
Exactly.
Do you feel, I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to come back to this question because I want to make sure that we're getting all of this. But I want to know, how do you feel that looking at the inner workings of all of these different parts, moving parts, how does that help you with what you ultimately want to do?
It's actually probably... So I feel like a lot of people rush the process, right? A lot of people who want to be actors jump right into the acting side of things and don't realize like their lighting. They don't understand that if you turn a certain way, what it looks like on camera. So by me being on this side of and watching where they put the lights, what the lights names are, working with the directors and seeing how they talk to people on set, that's another thing that helps me when I have people helping me with my videos, which is rare. But if I do have someone helping me, I know not to like snap at them because they're not in my 100.
Mind. You know, I did my short film, and the amount of knowledge I lacked was incredible because I had done acting, I'd done extra work, I've done my share of acting, and I had no clue. I had no clue. Like, I believe in integrity, first of all. Right. You know, first, I think is very important. But I had no clue. Like, if you're late, this is how it affects the shot. Yes. If you're late, it affects the money. It affects your location rental time.
Everything. Every minute counts when you're on that show, when you're on that set. Everything. And it's a lot of hurry up and wait. But in that waiting process, because even though you may not be working, someone is doing a job at that moment. Something's always moving, and there are so many moving parts. You need a big team, really. But I think in doing my cosplays, I've picked up a lot from being on set and also from my degree, but mostly from being on set. I've learned how to manage my time, number one made into my time. And also, like, lighting is, like, the biggest thing because I work so closely with the lighting department. So
let me ask you this. Do you feel like you want to act more or edit more?
Oh, it's so hard. That is, like, the hardest question. My passion is in performance, which I think is why TikTok and YouTube have, like, given me such a good outlet for that, because I can do both at the same time, because I film my own videos, but I can also edit them.
Wow, so it's a combination of everything that you love.
Yes.
So how did you, so her TikTok, tell me your TikTok name again.
It's Coco Bree, Cocobree.
You need to find her. She's amazing. Let's talk about, how did you get into TikTok? Like, what drew you into TikTok?
The pandemic. Actually, you know what? I actually had a Musical.ly before it was...
What's Musical.ly?
So that was
I mean, I'm young, but
you know,
I don't know what that
we're
is.
both young. So that was TikTok before it was TikTok. So TikTok basically bought Musical.ly, or they just changed the name.
Okay.
And so the app was already there, and they had, I mean, there's a very specific style of videos that people would do on Musical.ly, and so a lot of those kids that were on the app are like multi-millionaires now because they've been on the app for so long. And I had one, and I was making videos, but not really. I didn't have a niche. Like, I could not figure out my niche. But I was like, I just want to make videos. So I had like maybe 3 or 4 videos on there. But then the pandemic hit, and my show ended. We wrapped our show, and then we...
From the stand-in work.
Okay. We wrapped the show February 14th, actually, like Valentine's Day. And then we went into lockdown in March. And so basically the industry shut down. And so no shows were hiring. I was like, what am I going to do? I ended up moving back to Texas for a little bit. And while I was at home, I was going stir crazy because I had been so go doing the show for 6 months. And then everything just like abruptly halted. And I was just like, I am going to lose my mind because I'm such like I have a lot of creative energy. And if I don't get it out, I don't know. It's like a weird, I don't know how to describe it. Because my mind is constantly going. And so if I can't put my ideas...
The thing is, it's like, you know, when I'm trying to go to bed or I wake up, there's just different times where it's like my mind's like, you need to be doing this. You need to be doing that. You could do this. You could do that. And I'm over here like, I would like to sleep.
Right. I just want to sleep.
My brain's like, sleep.
What is that?
But you could be a princess. You could be on an adventure. You should travel the world. And you're like, okay, you know what? Fine.
Yes.
Let me create. Yeah. So that's a creative soul. When you have... And everybody has different kinds of passions that they're meant to do. And I think one of the great things is being in tune with yourself, being in tune with what you're meant to do, because when you are, you're able to put it out there and make it happen. The more you listen, the louder that voice gets. Yeah. So because you had been listening to that voice, like, oh, let me be a stand-in, let me do extra work. A lot of people come out to LA, I want to be an actor. And they don't understand, like you've mentioned before, what it takes to actually get into the industry. It's not like 1947 where somebody sees some beautiful person on the bus stop and,
store,
oh my gosh, you're going to be in the Wizard of Oz. That's not what's happening. There's work. And now you have like acting royalty families, right? So if you don't come from one, you have to have the grit, the humility, really, to get into this industry and put in work. And you have to love it. You know,
Absolutely.
If you don't love it, then you're looking for the outcome instead of enjoying the process. And so you had been following the process, following your inner voice, and now we're in lockdown and that voice is louder because you don't have that outlet.
Exactly.
So then you woke up in the middle of the night and started doing what?
Well, not cosplay.
Oh, you didn't start with cosplay.
I didn't start with cosplay.
Wait, what did you do?
I don't really know. I was just
Did you do the dance videos?
So I did the very first TikTok. I guess the very first TikTok of my lockdown experience was the Renegade. The Renegade dance. So I did that, and I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. Like, guys, what is going on TikTok? This is actually kind of fun.
It was fun.
And you know what it is? Back to the passion thing. Like, my mom put me in. I mean, I've been performing since I was 3. I've been a cheerleader since I was 3. So I was in cheerleading, dance, gymnastics. I was always performing. So that's kind of all
that runs in the family. Yeah, that's cool.
It's in us, you know? And so back to the lockdown situation, I've never, even before I moved out here, I was always doing some kind of performance. Because even in college, like, I was on the step team. I always was performing. And so being in the house with myself, I was like, there's no audience. I can't be around people. So my audience is going to have to be through the internet. And so I started first thing I did was the Renegade because that was the trend. Mm-hmm. And then I made a video about my fupa that actually did kind of well. And I was just like, okay, I can be kind of funny here. Like, this is an interesting.
How fun. So your fupa got all the attention.
Yeah, like she has her own little page. Like, Foops is
interesting.
A star.
I love that. Okay.
So then I did that video, and then those videos were doing well, but like not really. I wasn't really gaining a following.
Now, were you doing all the hashtags to help your videos get more following?
I was doing like the FYP hashtag, and I was hashtagging relatable. So I guess I was doing more like kind of sketch relatable content. Okay. And then one day, I don't know what it was, but one day I think I heard a sound from the Princess. No, it wasn't Princess and the Frog, but it was from like a Disney movie or something. Someone was using a sound from a Disney movie. And so I ran into my roommate's room and I was like, hey, what if I start using the audios from shows and dress up like the characters? And
wow, so it just popped up into your mind.
It just popped up because I heard someone using a sound on TikTok. Wow. It was a Disney movie. I can't remember which Disney movie it was. And so she was like, yeah, that would be kind of entertaining. I was going stir crazy. She was still working from home, so she was in there like, okay, leave me alone. Go do whatever you want to do.
You're like, I'm going to wear costumes.
I'm going to be, yes.
Okay.
So the first character I did was Princess Tiana because she was safe for me because I was like, I'm black. I don't really know how this goes. I didn't really know much about cosplay. I've seen cosplayers, but I had never like really.
And you don't really see black female cosplayers.
You really don't. You really don't. There are like 5 or 6 that I am obsessed with, but you don't really see that many black cosplay because we get a lot of pushback.
Well, right. People are like, I don't want to see what happened. What's her name? That's the Little Mermaid.
Hallie.
Yes. I mean, when that happened, people are outraged. What? I'm like, she's a cartoon.
Literally.
Mermaids aren't real, so but you know, people are like, that's not what the cartoon looked like. So it's got to be a challenge, I would imagine, being a black female cosplayer.
Listen, the comments that I've gotten, I was Poison Ivy, and
which was fantastic.
Thank you. And I made the costume, which is another thing. Like when I first started out, I was like, I don't have a job, so I can't use all my money on buying costumes. So that was kind of my thing at first, was just buying pieces that kind of look like the character. So for Princess Tiana, I didn't buy a Princess Tiana costume.
Okay, so let me come back to this. I want to get back to you were at home and you decided to be a Disney princess. So was that like your catalyst for what happened after you were the Disney princess? Like what happened next? So you made this video. What was the response to that?
I made the video as Princess Tiana, and the people, my friends on Instagram, really responded well to it. Mm-hmm. It did pretty well on TikTok, but it was just like kind of a thing that, oh, she's cute. She did Princess Tiana.
So Instagram, people were like, what is this?
What is this?
And then what was your next thought?
My next thought was, okay, we'll make this a series. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do Disney princesses. So my first series was Disney princess. So from Princess Tiana, then I did Mulan. And then after Mulan, I did Princess Jasmine. And then I did, so it was.
And I remember all of those. Those were amazing.
Thank you.
And did you originally buy those costumes, or were those ones you made yourself?
I bought all of the pieces from like Amazon. And then I bought a Mulan costume because I was still also very much so in the, like, well, I want to be respectful because she's not black. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to do something that's just, like, offensive. Like, I never want to offend anyone's culture. Oh, my gosh. Mulan is such a cultural movie.
It absolutely is.
But I still love her, and I, like, wanted to be her. So I did it, and people responded so well to it, and I was like, okay. So then I did Princess Jasmine, and then I was like, well, let me move over to the villains because they have a little bit more
Which
sass.
are my favorites. You did one of my favorites. Listen, Ursula's one of my favorites. You did it.
Yeah.
I'm going to still have to do it. I don't have any costumes. Yes. I'm working on that.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But Ursula has been mine for so long. Whenever I do karaoke, guess who's at the bar singing?
Come on, yes.
Poor Unfortunate Souls every day, all the time. And it goes over well, so I love that. But you actually did it. You know how to do these transitions. Mm-hmm. So when you got to villains, is that when you started working more with the makeup part of it?
Not quite. We're almost there. We're almost to that part. The first villain I did was the Joker. I did Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
First of all, okay, that's
the video that changed it all for me.
Was it?
Oh, nope. I'm sorry. Cruella. Cruella was the one.
Okay, another one that was... Okay, as you're saying them, I'm imagining them all right now with the hair, with the thing, and the... Oh my gosh.
I did the original Cruella de Vil, and that was the first video that literally took off, and that kind of changed it all for me, where I was like, okay, wait a minute. This might be a career thing because I am having so much fun.
Yes.
I bought this red, I was looking, and I wanted to be as specific as possible without buying a costume.
Right.
So I just got a black dress. I found a white coat that I still wear. I would still wear this anywhere. And it had the red lining. And I was like, oh, this is ordained. Where am I going to find a white coat with the red lining, you know?
Right.
And so.
And what was the response to your Cruella?
People loved it because the first part of the video was me just saying oh, I'm going to quit cosplay because people are saying the character isn't black, because I was getting those comments. Mm-hmm, and then I said psych, and then I switched into Cruella de Vil. It blew up. People were like, yes, I was so sad that I thought you were going to quit cosplay. I was like, oh, you care?
Right? Because you never know, right?
You never know. And so that one, and that was the first one I filmed outside of my bedroom. Mm-hmm. I filmed it outside with my mom. My mom helped me because I was like, I'm scared to go outside by myself with my tripod. I'm still
Yes.
And so she was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I can just stand there. I was like, yes, please. So we went out. I scouted a location in Houston that had vines on the building. Mm-hmm. I was looking for kind of a London kind of feel.
Yeah.
And I found this building. It had vines on the side of the building. And I was like, this is the one. And so we came back. I filmed the video. I edited it all. And it did really well.
How long did it take you to edit that video?
That one, it took me maybe 4 hours to edit that one. Because it wasn't a lot of transitions and stuff. So it didn't take that long.
4 hours for something that doesn't have a lot of transitions.
Yeah.
So I admire that discipline because that's the hardest thing for me.
Yeah.
I don't have that patience. I'm like, it's either one shot or nothing. But it can't be that way.
Yeah.
It cannot be that way. So you had gone to college and learned editing. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it was something that you already had an idea. You knew how to do.
Yeah. I knew the basics. I knew how to cut something up. I knew how to extract the audio, and I knew basically just how to put pieces together.
Okay.
When it came to adding special effects and all that stuff, I taught myself. YouTube videos, a lot of courses a lot of people have a lot of videos on YouTube, but I just practice.
So you used your passion for making trailers and for performing, and you started creating these villains. So you started with Cruella.
Yes.
No, you started with Joker.
Started with Cruella, and then moved to the Joker.
Your Joker was phenomenal.
Once I got a good response with the Joker as well, that's when I was like, okay, people are really liking this style of video where it was just me outside, being myself, having fun, and actually performing.
Now, were they asking you after that at this point? Because I know sometimes when I watched, I'm like, oh, I want to see this. So you started getting requests.
And that's why.
Wow, so that's how this came to be.
Yes. My next request, someone requested Maleficent. I think that was the first time I used
and then your request. Girl, that's why I'm telling you, all of her stuff is amazing.
Thank you.
You have to go to her TikTok. You got to check out her Instagram. And that's why she has all these millions of followers, millions of likes, millions of views, because it really is amazing.
Thank you.
And how many have you done since? Because you've since done, Scooby-Doo.
I've done Thelma, I've done Corpse Bride. I did the Muses from Hercules.
So I just showed my friend the other day. I was like, you got to see. So she did all the characters from Hercules. You just have to see it. Yeah. I'm going to explain it. But what I'll do is I'll have to show pictures. And then you'll have to go. I'll put the link in this video so you can go watch them because it's incredible. So yeah, about how many have you done?
I would say, well, I was at 62 before I came back out here, and then I've done maybe like 7 since then. So somewhere in the 70, 80 range.
And approximately how long does it take to, so you have what's your process of, I have an idea.
Okay.
I've got to do makeup. Mm-hmm. I've got to shoot this. Mm-hmm. I've got to edit this. Mm-hmm. And then, publishing is pretty much submitting. Mm-hmm. What is that process looking about? How long does it take for you to do that?
Okay. Can I break it down in 3 categories?
Absolutely.
So if I'm doing a makeup transition video, which would be like the Hades, Ursula, Scar, those videos.
I'm shaking my head because they're amazing.
So those makeup transitions where I'm sitting down with me and the camera and just doing transitions and then the reveal. Since I'm not wearing a costume, I sit down, I write out transition. I listen to the sound, right? And then I write out the transitions that I want to do for each sentence. And then I start doing the makeup. And the makeup, depending on which transition I'm doing, where I am, roughly 7 hours to do start to finish, start and stop the camera, do the transition multiple times, get what I want. 7, 8 hours. I'll give myself like 8 hours. And then from there...
this is like a full-time job.
Yeah. And
so I can't go teaching all day and come home and be like, I have an hour. I'm gonna make myself Ursula and sing a song. And
well, I did do that 2 days ago. Because I knew I wasn't gonna have time coming up because I'm
after 80 videos.
Yeah, that's after 80 videos.
You've got some practice.
Yeah. So it takes about 8 hours to do the makeup part, right? Mm-hmm. And then I upload it onto my computer. And then I have to go through all the footage, which is 8 hours worth of footage. Mm-hmm. And I pick the best parts of that, and I edit that down. And that usually takes about another 8 hours, 7, 8 hours. So start to finish, 15 hours for those videos. So then there's the ones like the Encanto videos and the muses where I'm cloning myself. So I was ambitious doing Encanto. I don't really do those like that because that one, it took 12 hours to just film, 13 hours to just film the characters. Because I did all the characters in one day.
Yeah.
And cloned myself and had to like mark where I was because I was interacting with myself in the video. So I had to write down like, I turned left to look at this character. It was a lot. So that one took about 12 to 13 hours to film it. And then it took about 15 hours to edit it.
That's incredible.
And yeah.
That's incredible though, because I feel like for me, like I said, I have these ideas I want to do, but I honestly don't know what goes into it. So I appreciate you sharing what goes into these videos because I think a lot of times on social media, people make things look easy. Right? Mm-hmm. We see the edited footage and we see, oh, cool, she cloned herself. I can do that. But it's like, you really can't. It takes effort. It takes the makeup. It takes, know, like you said, marking yourself. Like, I'm listening to you in awe right now of all the things that you have to do to make this happen. Mm-hmm. Let me talk to you about your hair. This is my personal interest because you got me into doing these twists.
And they look phenomenal.
I get a lot of compliments. People like my hair like this. I personally really love it like this.
Yeah.
So, but you have, you have an amazing amount of hairstyles that you do. And when you do these clonings, you have, not only do you have different outfits, you have different hairstyles. Tell me, do you have a secret for getting your hair done that quickly?
Secret? For me, I will say.
I want to have,
when I'm doing the cosplays, I usually will keep my hair braided down so I can just throw on wigs.
Okay.
Now, I will say for traditionally not black characters, I've learned how to adapt them into black hairstyles.
Yes, you have. So I've seen you do so many different characters with your own hair. The one you did most recent.
Raven.
Was it Raven?
With the purple fro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like Harley Quinn, I just took a blonde
your Harley
wig.
Quinn, stop with the bat and everything.
Yeah.
Loved that.
Thank you. Yeah, so Harley Quinn was the first time I realized like I can't always have the straight hair that the character has, because it's a white character or like a not black character, and my hair just doesn't do that. And it's like, if I have a lot of my natural hair is a lot, so it doesn't get flat enough for like a straight blonde wig, and they just don't look good on me. It looks like I'm trying. I want to embody the character and like be the character. I don't want to like look like I'm trying. Does that make sense?
Absolutely makes sense. And I actually appreciate that, and I think that's what brings authenticity to your cosplay. It brings authenticity to what you're putting out there.
Yeah,
and I think people are able to enjoy that because it gives you a freedom to be yourself as that character, as opposed to trying to be something that you're not.
Exactly.
And that's a big deal.
And I've gotten so many comments. One of the reasons I like keep going is because I get the comments all the time from like, oh, I'm not gonna cry, but I get comments from like black parents who are like, oh, my daughter didn't know that this person could look like it. It seems so like minor, and it's weird that I'm crying about it.
No, it's a like, big deal.
There's no representation. So sorry.
No, cry. Let it. I mean, because it's real. I wish I had that as a child.
I literally love those comments because I'm like, I didn't have that. So, and I know there are a lot of like creatives who are like, oh, I can't audition for that because it's like for a black person. It's like, no, Harley Quinn could be black.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's
you're gonna make me cry. Girl, got me crying over here.
It's all I love that I can be that for some people. And I know it's not like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem that major, but it is, because
no, it's a big deal. I think that's what I appreciate about you, and gosh, what a blessing that you're my cousin, is because even though you're younger than I am, I look up to that because you have a freedom that I never felt like I had. Like, of course, as time goes on, freedom looks different. I mean, to be different things, you know, or to be able to, you know, embrace different things. Like, and the fact that you've done that, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And you have this edge that I look at and I admire, that I think is amazing. And the fact that you've gone after it and you've done it and you've inspired people, I think that's what made me want to talk to you more about this, because it's not just, as I was saying earlier, when you listen to the spirit inside of you, it's not just about, oh, I want to create something, I want to, you know, do something for me. It's about giving to other people.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're using this gift that you have, because I believe that the gifts that we have aren't just for us.
Right.
They're meant to be given. Yeah. They're meant to be shared. They're meant to inspire other people. And what you're doing with your cosplay is inspiring so many people. I've been able to do my hair. I feel like I want to do transition videos, you know, and that's just for me for fun. But you have inspired other women, other men, other people who feel I can't do something. And you're like, yes, you can, and I've done it. And I'm sure you get both kinds of mail. I'm sure you get the beautiful letters, and I'm sure there's always hate mail. But I love that you recognize what you've done for people and how important that is, and what an impact that makes on like adults, older people, and younger people alike. And so I just want to say thank you so much for doing that, for, you know, not hiding your talent, not shying away from it, and being bold, and not letting being black stop you from doing something that you feel passionate about, and embracing that part of yourself to be these different things.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I get comments from like all races. I get people, there's someone in Finland who is just like, I've had the worst day ever, and watching your videos has put the biggest smile on my face, because it's like, that's the whole thing. I just want people, I don't make money from doing this.
Girl,
like,
you deserve it.
The 15, 16-hour videos aren't what I make the money from. So it's like, I do it because I love it, and I want to put a smile on people's faces. And the comments are really what keep me going, because it's just like, oh my gosh, I love this character. You brought it to life. I didn't know that she could look like
what
this.
Success is? Like, some people think success is, oh, I have all this money, or I travel to, and those things are great, but I think at the end of the night, like, when you can say, wow, I made a difference in somebody's life, or I spent 15 hours doing something that I love, and I'm super proud of it.
Yes.
Like, that to me is a key to living, is doing what you love and not sleeping on it.
It's literally an adrenaline rush.
Because I feel like that kills the inside, right?
Yeah.
When you, I don't know if you've ever not done what you love, but there's been times when I've lived not doing what I've loved, and it's like soul sucking, right? It starts to like, and that's why I've actually started doing this podcast, right? Because I'm like, some people will watch, some people won't. Some people say, why is your podcast so long? Or,
yes,
you need better this or that. Maybe. But, I want to share things with people.
Yes. And you have this incredible gift of connecting with people and really inspiring. Like, I don't know if you know that, but like you have this like, it's this energy that you give that is just so, it makes you want to, I just want to keep going. You're so inspiring. Yes.
Aww.
I don't know if you know that, but you really
Thank
just
you.
have this like amazing infectious energy that is so great. And it's really good for podcasts because
I hope
you can
so.
really bring it out of people. Literally.
Well, I want to. I feel like there's so many things out there in the world that, I, as an only child, and
Same.
oh yeah, we're both girl. When you don't have people to bounce things off of, and I think also being Black, growing up when I did, yes, there were opportunities, but I've started to understand when there isn't representation, somehow without knowing it, you just don't think of yourself as doing that because you don't see it. So it's not like a deliberate, Black people can't do this.
Right.
Nobody's really saying that, but it's that, well, I don't see myself doing this. I see myself doing this, playing sports, being a singer, being a teacher, which I love teaching, and I love acting. I love the things that I get to do, but, and also I think my mom maybe not knowing what I would be able to do, right? It's a generational thing that kind of comes down, and so her not knowing, hey, you could be an actor, hey, you could be these things, I now have these opportunities when I'm older, so I want to share them because there's times that I've tussled with, can I really do this? Right. Is it practical? It's going to cost money. I'm not going to get paid for it. I'm going to spend all my time doing something. And so understanding that when you're creating and doing something that you love, it's not about the money. It's not about anything other than really using the gifts that you're meant to give and letting what's supposed to come to you come to you.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
that's what I feel like I'm learning, and that I'm not too old to do anything for myself personally. And so that's why I love watching you do what you do. You've seen my transition, but did you see the one that I'm...
It was cute!
I was like, let me try a transition. Yeah. I was like,
it really
look
just
at me
takes
now,
practice.
But yeah.
I actually just posted a video yesterday of me doing my very first makeup transition video, which was Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog, the villain from there.
The hat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I posted a side-by-side. I redid that transition video because me doing it in 2020, I was new. I had never done a face paint, body paint. It was good, but it wasn't like where I am now. So I redid it doing the exact same transitions, and I did a side-by-side of it. And you can literally see the growth in like the 2 years of where I started and like where I am now. And it's just like mind-blowing.
So this is what I want us to do.
Okay.
This is going to be our challenge.
Okay.
I want to do a transition video.
Okay.
And I want to be taught by you.
Yes.
And then we'll post it, and we'll put it in the link here. Because apparently it's going to take 15 hours. So you'll get to see you'll see my first one and the one that I do after she teaches me, okay? So we'll pick something. Like, maybe my dream Ursula.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes.
Really? We'll do it? Yes. Okay.
Let's
do that. We'll do that.
So
and we'll post that on here. Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing what comes up next for you.
Thank you.
Having you on again as some more of these ideas come to fruition you keep working out your goals and dreams. And I will keep posting updates for her, but definitely go check out Coco Bree on TikTok and on Instagram. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. It's Courtney Bree, but also you can probably find me if you look up Coco Bree.
Okay, so check her out on YouTube as well, and thank you for joining us today, and don't forget to watch our next video, my transition into Ursula.
Yes, it's going to be so good. I'm so excited.
Double knuckles.
Let's do it.